Hey guys, so this is basically opening 037, the 37th opening that I'd like to share with you. Today is the Italian opening. Well, it could be the fact that an Italian actually first played this opening. I'm not too sure, but if you do know, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll start off the sequence, which is a relatively short one with f5, d6, basically the usual cat variation, and then d3, and then over here instead of going to c4 c3, sorry, which is actually the tiger the rose bill opening, or the cat variation, which is to c5, you actually choose to adopt to go to e6, which is sort of like a diagonal cut, and you basically form up this almost like center black cross shape over here with one diagonal chip disc across. So one of the advantage of this opening is that if you're playing a player who is playing a perpendicular white opening against you, there is a very high chance of you actually playing into this Italian opening, because most players would actually go for that D3 response earlier on instead of the G5. So the moment your opponent actually goes for the D3 response, you can just immediately jump into e6 and kickstart that Italian opening. So early variation definitely has that pros and cons. The pros being you probably know that opening more than your opponent if your opponent is surprised. And with the cat variation, you basically avoid the dragon opening. And there are many side variations to this particular opening that you can pull off as long as your opponent doesn't really know it that well. On the flip side, I think the responses for white are actually generally intuitive for white, but for you yourself, you actually have to make some counterintuitive moves to actually pull off a few traps within this opening sequence. So, of course, if you go deep in the book, that would actually help you with that opening. And of course, the next video that follows will be a specific Italian variation. Italian opening variation to be precise, to actually um, share with you that is very counterintuitive for white and quite useful for black. I think most of the online players that I see who are really good at this is probably a Japanese player, maybe an online player called Hayates, or also there is a Taiwanese player who is really good at this called taiwanchan. He's really great at this opening, and it's generally quite difficult to actually challenge people who are well prepared in their openings. It's almost going to their home ground to actually race them on a racetrack, perhaps. So look forward to seeing you in the next video.